I'm here live from my vehicle, from my car. You can probably tell I've got my seat belt on, although I'm parked safely. And this is a little bit of an unusual time for me to live stream because I usually live stream at around 9 p.m., 9:30 p.m., sometimes 10 p.m., which is still a little late. But here I am live streaming it's an odd time. I started it at 7:17 p.m. Central Time here in Madison, and I think I should wait for a minute for people to join before going into the discussion. I see Terry is here. Terry, thank you. I see your thumbs up. Thanks for joining. So my friend Terry from South Dakota is here, and let's see who else joins. If you are tuning in, yeah, Terry is suggesting that I wait for a minute. Maybe I'll wait for a minute, but I don't know who's gonna join because I don't think people expect me at this hour. And moreover, I see someone else has joined. That's great. More people are joining. I think it takes a while for folks to get the notifications on their phones, maybe that I'm doing a live stream. Um, I'd rather do a live stream unannounced from outside from my car as I'm doing now than try to schedule one and not be able to get to it. My day was extremely busy, extremely busy. I see more people joining. That's great. As I was saying, unannounced, unscheduled live stream. Thanks for tuning in, everyone who's joining. And my day was extremely busy, and by late afternoon I was exhausted, and then I came out. I have a few things I need to do, and it may be a while before I get home, and so I'm not sure once I get home if I'll be able to do a live stream. So I thought I'm just gonna do a stream from my vehicle. So I'm parked safely. Let me just emphasize that. Don't think I'm driving. I'm parked safely. See, hands away from the steering wheel. Okay, I've got my seat belt on still, but that's not the topic. I see a few folks have joined, so let me go straight into the discussion. Nevada GOP primary. I'm sure you know the results by now. Um, Nikki Haley was Nikki Haley was the only candidate running, and, and she lost. Uh, I'm not. I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I respect Trump. I respect Nikki Haley, Ron DeSantis, Vivek, Tim Scott, um, everyone who ran in the presidential race. I respect them. So I'm not. My laughter is not a sign of disrespect. Let me just make that very clear. But there's something that we need to say when you're the only one running in the race and you still don't win. And the reason for that is, uh, people chose none of the above or whatever it was, none of the candidates. So people chose the the option to not nominate anyone in the primary than to nominate Nikki Haley. And that was also by a significant margin. So Nikki Haley won 31, like 1/3 of the vote. Let's just round up the numbers and say Nikki Haley got 1/3 of the vote. And oh, great! I see more people joining. Thank you. I know this is unscheduled, but sometimes I think we need a little bit of change of scenery. Okay, I'm always sitting in my room and live streaming. It can get a little boring. So here I am in my vehicle, safely parked, still got my seatbelt on, and I'm live streaming. So thank you. So Nikki Haley, she was the only one running in the primary because Trump was not in the primary. Trump will actually be people will nominate him, will vote for him in the caucus, and the caucus is tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow. Yeah, it's tomorrow. Nevada GOP caucus is tomorrow, and that's when I predict Trump's going to win and he's going to get the delegates. But Nikki Haley was running in the primary. So, some folks were saying that there will be two winners coming out of Nevada. Okay? The political pundits, pundits. What an amazing word. Political pundit. You got to be a political pundit and people will believe you. So, some of the political pundits said that there will be two winners coming out of the Nevada GOP primary. One is going, not the GOP primary, coming out of Nevada. One will be Nikki Haley winning the primary because she's the only one running. And Trump is going to win the caucus. And so Nikki Haley will win the primary, Trump will win the caucus. Now, whether Trump wins the caucus, well, he will win the caucus, but, the results will come out tomorrow. So she ran and she lost. Okay? I mean, imagine that. How devastating for a political campaign it is if you're the only one running and you still lose. In local races, sometimes for village board elections or city council elections, maybe town board, there are instances, we see that in Wisconsin, where there's only one candidate. Okay, and that happens, and I know my friend Terry, who joined us, she knows that sometimes in village board elections there's or town board elections there's only one person running, uncontested, and obviously that person wins. But in the case of Nikki Haley, it's like the sun rising in the west and setting in the east. Okay. The unbelievable has happened. Nikki Haley running, all alone in the race, and she still lost. Well, Nikki Haley didn't consider my suggestion. I had advised, not directly to her, but through my channel, and I don't know if Nikki Haley watches my channel. I just have a little over 1,000 subscribers, so I'm not sure if Nikki Haley watches my channel. But if she watched my videos, then she would have heard me say that she should drop out of the presidential race and endorse Trump. But obviously she didn't do that. Maybe she doesn't know that I advised that course of action. Maybe if she knew, she would have done differently. I don't know. Anyway, so I said that 2024 is not the time for her. I think she has a great political future, but that's not for 2024. She can run in the future again. And so 2/3 of the people chose none of the above candidate. So this candidate who doesn't exist. So this is American history, okay? Please don't laugh. I'm laughing. I'm trying to control my laughter, but this is American history. Somebody, this candidate who doesn't exist, won the GOP primary in Nevada. This none of the above candidate defeated Nikki Haley by getting 2/3 of the vote. Let's see what Terry is writing in the chat window. Terry writes, none of the above, my choice too. Great. Now, Terry, you didn't vote in Nevada, right? You're in South Dakota. But, what Terry is suggesting is, that would be her choice too. None of the above. So, I mean, how can a political campaign continue after such a devastating loss when you lose against a candidate that doesn't exist? I mean, it's going beyond material reality, right? I'm not a scientist, so I'm not going to go into science, but a candidate that doesn't exist, okay? None of the above is the candidate. Won, and Nikki Haley lost. And she's still moving forward, heading towards the South Carolina GOP primary, okay? I'm curious to see what happens there. That's going to be Nikki Haley versus Trump. I don't think there's a none of the above there. So Trump's going to win that. And obviously, uh, he's got a lot of support. Plus, Nikki Haley is from South Carolina. Great state, by the way. Beautiful state. I haven't been there, but I will in the future, hopefully. But I know it's a beautiful state. Both U.S. senators from South Carolina endorsed Donald Trump. And Donald Trump is not from South Carolina, okay? Donald Trump is from New York. Well, now he lives in Florida. And he got the endorsement of the Florida governor, Ron DeSantis, who was running against Trump, but then made the wise decision. Yeah, he made the wise decision. Now, if you ask me if Ron DeSantis saw my channel and heard me say that he should endorse Trump, whether that prompted him to make that decision, I don't know. I hope so, but I can't say for sure. Okay? Maybe he took my advice. Okay? But it was a wise decision. And I respect Ron DeSantis for that. So he endorsed Trump. So Trump now lives in Florida, got the endorsement of Ron DeSantis, the Florida governor, and Nikki Haley is from South Carolina, and Trump's not from South Carolina, but the two South Carolina U.S. senators endorsed Trump. And so, I mean, I got to give credit to Nikki Haley for moving forward and being so brave to still continue with her campaign. But I don't know what's going to happen in South Carolina, the results. I mean, you can make a prediction if you want. How many percentage of votes will Trump get versus how many percentage votes will Nikki Haley get? Terry, do you have any prediction? I know Terry is probably still on. If you have any prediction, let me know. I'm not looking at any polls. I'm not looking at 538. I'm not looking at, the different surveys and polls. I'm just like, I want to hear your guess. You can make any guess. So let me know. And so the road ahead is pretty clear. It seems that, okay, Terry writes no predictions as long as she loses. Maya Sisters write Trump 60. So you're suggesting Trump will get 60% of the votes. That'll be pretty nice. I think 60% of the votes is, you can call it an overwhelming victory. I think, yeah, if Trump gets 60% votes, that'll be great. I see more people have joined. Excellent. I'm 12 minutes into this live stream, and more people are joining. Obviously, some people come and go. I understand that people have other things going on in life, but the more people join, the longer I feel like staying. So please tune in. Ask your friends to join as well. So if Trump gets, as Maya Sisters is writing, if Trump gets 60% of the votes in South Carolina, that is going to be amazing. Now, I don't know if Trump's going to get 51% or 70% or 90% or 60%. I can just tell you Trump's going to win. Binary, win or lose, win or lose. Trump's going to win that. What will Nikki Haley do after that? I mean, as of now, every indication tells me she's going to continue campaigning until South Carolina. But what happens after Trump wins, regardless of whether he gets 90% of the votes or 51%? Okay? What's going to happen? Do you think Nikki Haley will continue beyond South Carolina, or is she going to drop out? And if she drops out, is she just going to drop out, or is she going to drop out and endorse Trump? Let's not forget, it was during the Trump administration that Nikki Haley was the U.S. ambassador to the UN. That's an important position. And as I've said before, I think Nikki Haley, Michael Linton. Michael, let me remember. Michael from Alabama, right? Michael, you're from Alabama. Is it? See, I try to remember all my viewers and where they are from. Sometimes I forget. Michael, you're Alabama? From Alabama? By the way, amazing state, Alabama. Yes. See, Michael, wonderful. Thank you. So I remember Michael is from Alabama, and Michael is here. Thank you, Michael, for joining this live stream. So Michael writes, drop out. um, which means Michael is probably you probably mean, Michael, that Nikki Haley is going to drop out. Well, you know, so I keep saying this, and I know people have very strong opinions about Nikki Haley. Some people like her, some don't. I try to stay fairly neutral, and I'm not going to judge Nikki Haley based on her race against Donald Trump in 2024, but I'm going to just look at Nikki Haley as an accomplished political figure, successful, and has held important offices. She was the governor, she was the U.S. ambassador to the UN, so she's definitely successful. And so, just to be fair, I think, just being active in politics and knowing a lot of people of all ages in politics, I know that she does inspire a lot of young women. There are a lot of young Republican women who look at Nikki Haley and they get inspired when they see such an important figure. And I think when she was the U.S. ambassador to the UN, when Trump was the president, a lot of young women, some who I personally know, they, in politics here in Wisconsin, they saw Nikki Haley as an inspirational figure, and I'm sure many of them still do. And that's why I say that if Nikki Haley is really considering her political future, she should actually drop out. She should drop out and just do what Vivek did, just do what Ron DeSantis did, endorse Trump. Just whatever happened. Keeping that aside, shake hands with Trump, give him a nice endorsement, ask your supporters to support Trump. If Nikki Haley stands on a stage and says, I had the great opportunity of serving as the U.S. ambassador to the UN under Trump when Trump was in office, and I ran against Trump in 2024, but I understand the reality now, and it's time to drop out and endorse Donald Trump. Let's get him reelected. If she just says that, it's going to be very powerful, and I think she's going to get a lot of support. And if she wants to run again next time, people will remember that. So I think from that standpoint, Ron DeSantis has the advantage. Vivek Ramaswamy, he has the advantage because they dropped out and endorsed Trump. And Trump supporters, all those folks who are waiting to vote for Trump in 2024, they will remember Ron DeSantis' endorsement of Trump. They will remember that Vivek endorsed Trump. And those Trump supporters are going to support Ron and Vivek in future elections. So if Nikki Haley does that, I wish she would have done it before Ron DeSantis dropped out. If Nikki Haley would have dropped out sooner, before Ron DeSantis dropped out, then Nikki Haley would have the advantage. But now Ron DeSantis has the advantage. So there's still time for Nikki Haley to drop out and endorse Trump. Is she going to do that? I don't know. The more she stays in the race, the more things are going to get bitter. And, in politics, I think we need to put bitterness aside and unite. Unite as a party, because unity is strength. And that's what we need. If we want to defeat the Democrats in 2024, we need to be united. And Nikki Haley can help achieve that unity. We are already united. People are going to be united. Republicans are going to be united. So it's Nikki Haley's choice. Is she going to be the force that helps this unity, that adds to this unity, or is she going to be one political figure who just, goes forward and keeps losing, and then eventually doesn't end up being the nominee, and just goes home? Is she going to be that figure? She needs to endorse Trump. That's my thought. Okay, let me look at the comments here. Michael writes, young Republican women need to be like Marsha Blackburn. Michael, I think you did mention about Marsha Blackburn previously. Marsha Blackburn is a wonderful, wonderful political figure. She's very strong, and when she's on TV and she's expressing her views, she when you see her on TV, you can tell that she's a strong conservative woman. And we need more people like Marsha Blackburn in Washington. There's no doubt about that. And Terry is writing, she lost her grace and demeanor as she got into the presidential race. She'll need to earn that back. So Terry, I'm sure you're referring to Nikki Haley. Yeah. And yeah, she at this point, I think Nikki Haley has lost a lot of support. And if she wants to hold on to her position, her strength as a conservative leader, she needs to work on earning that back. And the first step in doing so would be to drop out of the race and endorse Trump. But honestly, if you ask me, I don't see that happening anytime soon. So I don't know. Now, another topic: who's going to be the next RNC chair? Because reportedly, Ronna McDaniel is going to step down. And what a timing! I mean, timing's everything, right? What a timing! I mean, if she steps down immediately after the South Carolina primary, between the South Carolina primary, which is later this month, and the July convention, RNC convention, which will be held in where? My state, great state, Wisconsin. It'll be held in Milwaukee, which is about 90 miles from where I live here in Madison. Takes about 1.5 hours, give or take, depending on traffic, by car. So who's going to be the RNC chair as we head towards the convention in July? That's the big question right now. We need somebody who is strong, who is bold, who's going to be popular, who's going to have a personality that people will like, somebody who is going to stand in front of the mic and energize the crowd, the audience, energize the Republicans. We need a personality who's going to be able to not only do the things that need to be done in the background, the political strategy and the fundraising and stuff like that, but somebody who's going to look great on camera, somebody who's going to be able to energize people as that person appears on television for interviews. I'm not going to mention any names on this live stream about who I think that may be, and I'm doing that by choice. I'm choosing not to mention any names regarding who's going to fill that position, but it's an important position, and we need to we need unity. Unity is the key word. Unity is the key word as we head towards the convention and definitely the election. So that's what I have. Let's see some comments. Michael writes, anybody but a rhino. Yeah, we don't need a rhino, and we need a solid Republican, a conservative Republican, and there's no room for mistakes. This is like the 11th hour, okay, in politics, almost. I mean, I know we're still months away from the election, but at this point, the Republicans cannot make any mistake. They need a solid person to be the RNC chair, and just no room for mistakes anymore. Okay, I see a name is being discussed here in the live chat window. I'll talk about that later on. But any other questions for me I'm sitting in my car here, under an open sky, and I've got my engine still running, so I'm burning fuel, um, and I don't think the climate czar will like that. Talking about the climate czar, so John Kerry, is going away from the position of the climate czar, and and Terry, is that a question for me? Terry asks me, "Do you have a girlfriend?" Is that a question for me, Terry? No, no, I don't. Okay, I'm just gonna answer that. No, I don't. I don't know where that question came from. But no, I don't have a girlfriend, Terry. Yeah, I'm too busy writing, and I'm paying attention to politics. Anyway, yeah, I can come up with a list of excuses, but no. Um, what was I saying? Yeah, climate czar. Oh, yeah. Okay. Terry writes, be careful. You ask for questions. Yeah, I asked my viewers to ask me questions. So I guess that's fair game. You can ask me whatever you want. Okay. So, Terry, I have answered your question. That's a no. Um, okay. What was I saying? So there's a new climate czar, Podesta, Mr. Podesta. What's his first name? John Podesta, right? John Podesta, I think. Yeah. And it's kind of ridiculous that the Biden administration appoints um, people to be climate czar. And what does it actually mean to be a climate czar? And the Biden administration, every few days I see a news report in which I can see that the administration is waging war on natural gas, on oil, and on fossil fuels, and it's disturbing. So anyway, as I was just joking, I've got my engine running. It's a V6 engine, the vehicle that I'm driving, and I've got my engine running for over 27 minutes as I'm parked here. I'm outdoor, so that's okay. But the climate czar probably won't like that. So I may be wrapping this up soon unless people have more questions for me. And Terry, right, you said be careful, you ask for questions. Yeah, I ask for questions. You can ask me anything. That's fine. Okay, viewer writes, good evening, Tossif. I'm behind, but I do hope Nikki Haley steps down. I will respect her more. Loyal people never forget. Yeah, I hope she steps down, and as I keep saying that, I hope she does that, but there's no indication that she will step down. It seems she's gonna stay in the race, at least until the South Carolina GOP primary. Is she gonna step down after that? I don't know. So let me just throw this question at everyone who has joined. Anyone watching this live stream planning to attend the RNC, the convention in Milwaukee, Wisconsin? Anyone planning to travel to this beautiful state where I live to attend the convention? I don't know if I'm going to be attending. I plan to attend the GOP state convention here in Wisconsin. I do that every year. But am I going to attend the national convention? I don't know that. But if any one of you plan to attend that, you can share that. Terry writes, sadly, no. Terry, are you going to stay in South Dakota? Are you not coming back to Wisconsin? No plans? Oh, I see. Someone's writing, I cannot. I would like to for sure. I'm having surgery that week. Oh, I don't know what kind of surgery you're having, but I wish that your surgery goes well, and whatever is it that's bothering you, from a health standpoint, I hope you recover. You make a full recovery. I wish you good health. So, So Terry writes, except to visit. So Terry, you need to visit Wisconsin soon. Are you going to be coming and attending the Lincoln Day dinners and other events this year? Let me know. Um, so this is a message for Terry. The Dane County caucus. Dane County is where I live. The Dane County caucus is coming up, and I plan to be at that. And this is the Lincoln Day season. Thank you, Tassif. I look forward to visiting your beautiful state. Please do visit Wisconsin. Now, where are you from, if I may ask? Yeah, let me know. I'll just wait for your answer. Wisconsin is a beautiful state. Terry writes, I'm a real South Dakota resident now. That's wonderful, Terry. But we miss Terry here in Wisconsin. And Terry, I'm sure Greene County misses you. You've got lots of friends in Greene County as well as in Dane County. So please visit whenever you can and let me know beforehand. Okay, I have just gone past the 31-minute mark. I see more people have joined, so I am happy to continue. Michael writes, with this Biden economy, I cannot go across town. Biden, Michael, that's something that a lot of people feel. I know folks who are unwilling to drive unless absolutely necessary, because paying for gas is just, gas prices really didn't go down. I mean, here in Wisconsin, the prices did reach $5 per gallon at one point, so it's now like 2.8 or something like that here in Madison, where I live. But that's still high. I mean, we're used to paying $2, maybe 2.2, so 2.8 per gallon is high. Michael, I totally understand what you're saying, and it's really hard, even to go a few miles unless absolutely necessary. A lot of people don't want to drive because paying for gas is just an added cost, and it's hurting Americans' budget. So, viewer writes, I'm embarrassed to say a blue state. Feel free to write what blue state you are in. That's fine. We are all Americans. And if you live in a blue state, then I'm hoping that, going forward, a lot of your blue state voters will decide to vote Republican after seeing the disaster that Biden administration is. So Terry writes, I texted Greene County GOP leader about your live chat, sent him the link. Thank you, Terry, for doing that. I appreciate you spreading the word about my channel. Yeah. Well, you know what? I'm past 33-minute mark here. I'm going to wrap this up. If you want to write what blue state you are from, I know you mentioned you're embarrassed to say, but if you want to do that, please do that now. Otherwise, you can just, send me a comment later. Thank you all for joining. Live streaming from my vehicle. I'm going to end it now. I have to go buy gas, which is a pain, as I keep saying. South Dakota is bright red. South Dakota is bright red. Beautiful bright red. Kristi Noem, great governor. Thank you all for joining, and I'll be back again with more live stream and more videos. Thank you so much. Thank you for supporting my channel, and please stay connected with me. I'll be back with more videos. Have a wonderful night. Thank you, my friends.